two world champions in the roster with Brad Binder and Remy Gardner, and multiple race winners Miguel Oliveira and Raul Fernandez, KTM are stacked with huge talent in 2022. As we say Auf Wiedersehen to the first 11 races, it's time we look back at how the manufacturer in orange has fared so far. The Lusail International Circuit hasn't been a happy hunting ground for KTM in the past, with an 8th place for Brad Binder at the 2021 Doha GP, their best result to date. However, the South African was about to change that. From 7th on the grid, Binder found himself in the podium hunt. Capitalising on a mistake by Paul Espargaro, he hung on to 2nd for his 3rd MotoGP podium. As Binder was receiving adulation from his teammate Miguel Oliveira was ruining a disastrous start to the year, sliding out of 11th on lap 11. But there were smiles at the Tech 3 team as reigning Moto2 champion Remy Gardner scored a point, holding off fellow rookie Darren Binder in a titanic battle on the final lap for 15th place. Indonesia was the next stop on the calendar at the Pertamina Mandalika circuit. Rain fell on Sunday, and plagued by his rear ride height device sticking on, Brad Binder rode to a sensational 8th place, a ride that was only overshadowed by teammate Oliveira. The Portuguese saw an opportunity in the wet and grasped it with both hands, blasting past Quartararo for the lead on lap 2, producing a masterclass ride. Oliveira crossed the line to win by over 2 seconds. As the championship left Indonesia, Binder and Oliveira were sitting 2nd and 4th in the championship, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing leading the team's championship and KTM leading the manufacturers. Things were looking bright at the Orange Factory. But then Argentina rolled around and things began to unravel. Finding themselves with work to do after qualifying, Brad Binder produced another Binder bonanza with a fight back through the field from 12th on the grid to 6th, a performance we've become accustomed to from the South African. On the other side of the garage, things didn't go much better. Starting 16th, Oliveira could only climb 3 spots to 13th. After 2 great rounds, the KTM crew were left scratching their heads, hoping that this was a one-off and not the norm for the season. Moving stateside for round 4, and it was a race to forget for the Austrian factory. Struggling for pace all weekend, Brad Binder's 13th was the only thing to write home about, as Oliveira was out of the points and nearly 20 seconds behind his teammate. As MotoGP headed for Europe, there were a lot of questions to be answered. Portimao in Portugal and the home Grand Prix of Miguel Oliveira. All eyes were on the home hero to repeat his 2020 success and for KTM to revive their fortunes. The Red Bull KTM factory pair found themselves 11th and 12th on the grid. After a strong start, Oliveira held on to 5th. Not the result the fans would have hoped for, but nonetheless, a great result after 2 difficult races. Binder's day came to a premature end after contact with Nakagami. The South African crashed out at turn 11 a few laps later. 2-time Portimao Moto2 winner Remy Gardner continued his steady start to his rookie year, with 14th his best result to date. Things weren't going so well for teammate Raul Fernandez, the Spaniard suffering a crash at turn 5 after hitting a damp patch in Q1, which resulted in a small fracture in his hand, putting him out of the race and the following Spanish GP. Hopping over the border to Jerez, KTM were looking to build on the Portuguese form. However, it was a quiet race for the Red Bull KTM factory team, both riders ending a distant 10th and 12th at the flag, but more importantly, they were picking up points. Le Mans played host to round 7 of the MotoGP Championship. After difficult qualifying, Binder would take 8th at the flag, a miraculous result considering he lost his aero on the left-hand side after contact with Zarco at La Chapelle on the opening lap. Oliveira found himself in an entertaining battle with his teammate before his race came to an early end, losing the front at turn 3 while in 9th, compounding a very difficult day for KTM after Remy Gardner and a returning Raul Fernandez crashed out of the race in the early stages. As the championship was hitting the heart of the season, a pattern had emerged. Qualifying was a struggle for KTM, but race pace was good. Once more, Oliveira and Binder qualified down in 15th and 16th at Mugello. However, strong pace and a brilliant opening lap brought both through the field, Binder crossing the line only 4 seconds off the win in 7th, while Oliveira was only 2 spots further back. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya was next up, where Oliveira and KTM won in spectacular fashion 12 months earlier. Could they repeat that success in 2022? With work to do from 15th to 16th on the grids, it looked unlikely. Binder and Oliveira were locked in a battle for 8th before Oliveira ran off at turn 1 while outbraking Binder, finally settling for 9th. However, it was another double top 10 finish. There was delight down at Tech 3 as Remy Gardner took his best result in MotoGP, coming out on top in a scrap for top rookie as he claimed 11th and 5 valuable points in his quest for Rookie of the Year, while teammate Ralph Fernandez finally got on the scoreboard with his first point of the year in 15th. Sachsenring in Germany, a track where Oliveira impressed last year with his ride to 2nd, but repeated success in 2022 would be difficult. The KTM pair made great progress from low grid spots to finish 7th for Binder and 9th for Oliveira. There were lots of eyes at Tech 3 after Fernandez felt that Gardner held him up in qualifying. The Spanish rookie produced a ride that we've all been expecting this season, coming from 22nd on the grid to take 12th and his best result of the year. Assen marked the start of the second half of the season. 3 double top 10s in a row for KTM was a solid foundation to build upon. A strong qualifying put Oliveira and Binder in the mix from the start, with Brad Binder carrying the KTM flag, riding inside the top 6 for much of the race. He went for a pass at the Gertima chicane on Miller on the final lap, before being nerfed aside by a charging Aleix Espargaro. Left dejected but impressed, it was otherwise an encouraging 5th place. Backed up by Oliveira, the Portuguese taking his 4th and 9th place in a row, and more importantly, building confidence for the second part of the season. There is no question that KTM on their day can fight at the top for wins and podiums, but those days are few and far between at the moment. With riders that have some of the best racecraft on the entire grid, we see the likes of Binder and Oliveira finishing higher than they start, which highlights the key area in which they will want to improve. But all is not lost in 2022. Brad Binder is 6th in the championship with Oliveira in 10th. KTM and both the riders are proven race winners and in their Moto2 days produced late season charges for the championship. If that extra bit of performance can be unlocked in the latter half of the year, then we can see a repeat of the success they enjoyed at Losail and at Mandalika.
Hey guys, my name's Brad Binder. If you liked this video, give us a big like and don't forget to subscribe.